So let's talk about Scream 2, a sequel that I didn't quite get to see a lot of like its predecessor, but it has grown on me a little more after I've been revisiting it in the last year or two. So here's my review of it. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings my fellow YouTubers and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a review of the 1997 slasher sequel, Scream 2, released by Dimension Films, directed by Wes Craven, written by Kevin Williamson. Returning to this movie are David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, and Jamie Kennedy, along with Sarah Michelle Gellar, Laurie Metcalf, Jerry O'Connell, Elise Neal, Timothy Olyphant, Jada Pinkett, and Liev Schreiber. Now, this was released in December of '97, less than a year after its predecessor. And of course, it's the second installment of the Scream series. Anyway, the film takes place a year after the first one, and again follows the character of Sidney Prescott, another Woodsboro survivors, at the fictional Windsor College in Ohio, who becomes the target of a copycat killer using the guise of Ghostface. Anyway, now, I'm going to tell you this, that I have seen it a few times, but not a whole lot, but like I said in the intro, it has grown on me a bit more after I revisited this last month. So, if you're ready, let's get ready for some fun here with our story, of course. Now, mind you, unlike the first one, which I've known a lot of its bits, I'm not going to get too much of this. Oh, by the way, I want to give you a few seconds to stop this. If you have yet to see my review of the first Scream, click on that card that'll be coming up above my head. I'll give you a few seconds, and then I'm going to start the review. Okay? Okay, that's just a little short time, so if you've clicked on it, you can... Well, you know the procedure. Okay, here's our story. Now, Windsor College seniors Maureen Evans and Phil Stevens attend a sneak preview of Stab, a film based on the events of the first film. Now, apparently there's people dressing up in Ghostface costumes and all that stuff. Well, Phil, had to go to the restroom, and, apparently he is killed by Ghostface right in the ear. And soon he enters the screen and sits beside Maureen, who thinks it's Phil trying to scare her before finding blood on his cloak. The Ghostface fatally stabs her, which the audience mistakes this for a publicity stunt until Maureen falls dead in front of the movie screen. And there we go to our title screen of Scream 2. The following day, the news media, including local journalist Debbie Salt, descend on Windsor College, where Sidney Prescott studies, alongside her best friend Haley McDaniel, and her new boyfriend Derek Feldman, plus fellow Woodsboro survivor Randy Meeks and Derek's best friend Mickey Altieri. Two other Woodsboro survivors arrive at the campus, police officer Dewey Riley to help Sidney and reporter Gail Weathers to cover the case. Gail tries to stage a confrontation between Sidney and Kym Weary, who is attempting to gain fame from his exoneration for the murder of Sidney's mother, Maureen Prescott. After Gail forcibly confronts Sidney with Kym, Sidney angrily hits Gail again. Now, later that evening, Sidney goes to party with Haley. and at a sorority house, the Ghostface copycat encounters student Cece Cooper, played by Sarah Michelle Gellar, who was already big on as TV's Buffy the Vampire Slayer, and a few months before this, that same year, was in I Know What You Did Last Summer. Anyway, he really gets her and throws her off the balcony. Which that kill was a good one. Anyway, after all the partygoers leave, Ghostface crashes the party and attacks Sydney. Though Derek intervenes, Ghostface injures Derek but flees when the police arrive. Later, after realizing that Cece's real name is Casey, yes, like Casey, the first girl gets killed in the original, Gail theorizes that the new Ghostface targets students having the same names as the Woodsboro murder victims. Gail, Dewey, and Randy are talking on the campus lawn when Ghostface calls, hinting that he is watching them. Gail and Dewey decide to search for him while Randy keeps him talking. As Gail and Dewey are looking around the campus, what should happen? But you guessed it, Randy gets killed, yes. Ghostface drags him into Gail's broadcast van and murders him. As night falls, Dewey and Gail reviewed the tape of the Ghostface killing Randy. The killer attacks them, stabbing Dewey while Gail escapes. Two officers drive Sydney and Haley to a local police station. But, well, you're right. Ghostface murders them. In the ensuing struggle, Ghostface is knocked unconscious but soon revives and kills Haley, prompting Sydney to flee. Back at the campus, Sydney finds Derek in the auditorium tied to a cross. Sydney begins to untie him when Ghostface arrives. And the killer reveals himself to be Mickey and shoots Derek, killing him. Mickey tells Sydney that he intends to kill her and allow himself to be arrested so he can blame violence in the movies for the murders at trial and be acquitted on the grounds of insanity with the help of Alan Dershowitz or Johnny Cochran as his defense attorney. He then introduces Debbie Salt as his accomplice, whom Sydney recognizes as Mrs. Loomis, the mother of Billy Loomis, who is seeking revenge against Sydney for killing her son in the first movie. Wow, what a shocking turn of events this is turning out to be. Alright, now to the ending, the final act. You have exactly 5 seconds to stop this video, go to the description box below, and advance to the time below to avoid ending spoilers. Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Now, Mickey explains that Mrs. Loomis paid for Mickey's tuition fee in exchange for his killings. Mrs. Loomis then betrays Mickey and shoots him. But before Mickey collapses, he shoots Gail, causing her to fall off the stage. Sydney and Mrs. Loomis fight until Kyan intervenes and Mrs. Loomis holds a knife to Sydney's throat. When Mrs. Loomis attempts to persuade Kyan to let her kill Sydney, Kyan shoots Mrs. Loomis in the chest as they debate whether or not Mrs. Loomis is really dead. They find Gail still alive. Mickey suddenly resurfaces and attacks the group, to which Sydney and Gail respond by violently shooting him to death. Yeah. Sydney turns to Mrs. Loomis and shoots her in the head to ensure she's dead, just like what she did to Billy. Yep. When the police arrive the next morning, Dewey is revealed to be still alive, and Gail climbs into the ambulance with him rather than taking the opportunity to report to the cameras on the murders, showing that by the end of the movie, she cared more for Dewey than for the notoriety she always sought. Sydney instructs the press to direct questions to Kyan, rewarding him with the fame he has been chasing while removing the attention from herself as she leaves the university campus. End of story, my friends. And we get our closing credits as we see the college campus one last time. So, what did I think of Scream 2? Well, after revisiting a few times recently in the last year or two, including last month, I gotta say, it was really good. It's catching up with my liking of the original. While the original is still my favorite of the franchise, but I still think Scream 2 is better in some ways from its predecessor, because I have to agree its pacing's a little more quicker than the first one. I completely do agree with people's opinions on that. But the cast is absolutely good, and the story's real good. I mean, again, David Arquette, Neve Campbell, Courtney Cox, yeah, they were real good. Now, let's see now. Also in the film, we have, well, here's the rest of our cast. We have Laurie Metcalf as Mrs. Loomis, who goes under the alias of Debbie Salt, Elise Neal as Haley, Jerry O'Connell as Derek, Timothy Oliphant as Mickey, Jada Pinkett as Maureen. Let's see. Okay, and now playing Phil is Omar Epps. And let's see. And there's a kind of a sort of a mean girl in this, Lois, who is played by Rebecca Gayheart, who recently, well, not recently, I mean, who the following year would appear in the bit of the underrated horror film, which also kind of tried to copy Scream in some ways, Urban Legend. Also in this, we also have some special appearances from Tori Spelling, who, of course, still big on 90210 at the time, as herself, and Sidney Prescott, the character in the in-universe film of Stab. And Luke Wilson was playing Billy, and Heather Graham was Casey in that there film. Yeah. But anyway, I have to say, it was really good. Now, Marco Beltrami, well, got a lot of good reception for his score for evolving the musical themes of the characters created in Scream, although some critics claim that the most memorable pieces from the film were by legendary composers Danny Elfman and Hans Zimmer. Well, apparently, Elfman's contribution had been specially written for the film, but Zimmer's score for Broken Arrow was controversially used in the film, replacing Beltrami's own work, as a matter of fact. Also, something else that happened, the film suffered controversy following its significant issues with plot information leaking onto the internet, revealing the identity of the killers. And combined with the film's rush schedule, the script was rewritten often, and pages were sometimes completed on the day of filming. Despite these issues, Scream 2 earned a little less than its predecessor, as it went on to make $172 million at the box office. But, however, received positive reviews from everyone, with some arguing that it surpassed the original in quality. Well, in a way it did, actually, but even so, I'm still a more loyal liker to the original. But hey, you don't have to take my word for it. There was also a soundtrack that came out just a few weeks before this, which I actually have. It's locked up in storage, but I do get to hear lots of pretty good story. Well, not songs, but not stories, but songs that include Collective Soul's "She Said," and let's see, oh yeah, "Your Lucky Day in Hell" by the Eels, and "Red Right Hand" by Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds. Let's see, and even "Scream" by Master P and Silk the Shocker. This was kind of a mixed bag of rock, hip-hop, R&B, just about anything they could squeeze into that. But I like that music as well. So Scream 2 is definitely a very good slasher sequel. So would I recommend this movie? Hell yeah, this is something you need to check out. I think you'll probably like it more than the original. And if you like this more than the original, hey, I'm cool with that. I'm understanding, as always. But anyway, I like the story. The cast was real good. The music was good. Directing was good. And even the pacing was good. So I rarely do bring up in my horror reviews. But yeah, the pacing was real good too. But anyway, I really liked Scream 2, and I love it too. So, what are your thoughts on Scream 2? Please tell me in the comments section below. If you like this video, click the like button below and subscribe to my channel as well and be a part of the Big D Nation. Join me next time when I bring to you a review of Scream 3. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, you can see these other movies that were out right about the time or before or after. In the upper left-hand corner is my review of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which came out a few months before this in 97. In the upper right-hand corner is its sequel, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and also, since I brought that up, the bottom left-hand corner is my review of Urban Legend that I did this past summer, and the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thanks for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.